Now today we are going to study the part 2 of the chapter coal and petroleum. So in previous video we have studied about the coal, formation of coal and coal products. Now today we are going to study about the second fossil fuel, petroleum. So you know that from petroleum, petrol and diesel, these are the parts of the petroleum. We can say that these are the constituents of the petroleum. So now you have to understand that where we are using petrol, where we are using diesel. Okay, so petroleum is a word from which we are getting many kinds of constituents, many kinds of substance like petrol, diesel, paraffin wax, and so on. Okay, so first we have to understand where we are using petrol. So petrol is used as a fuel in light automobiles like motorcycles, scooters and car. And diesel we are using in heavy motor vehicles like trucks and tractors. Petrol and diesel, these two are obtained from a natural resource called petroleum. Okay, see the next one. Now here we have to study about formation of petroleum, how petroleum is formed. In previous video we have studied how coal is formed when in a low-lying dense forest, when due to the natural process like flooding and cyclones, these forests buried under the soil and many layers of soil deposited over them due to high pressure temperature, these dead vegetation converted into coal. But now we are talking about the petroleum. So you have to remember that petroleum was formed from organisms living in the sea. Okay, like plants and like animals. So how petroleum is formed? When these living organisms died, their bodies settled at the bottom of the sea and got covered with many layers of sand and clay. So, over millions of years, due to the absence of air, high pressure and high temperature, these dead organisms slowly transformed into the petroleum and natural gas. So, you understood how petroleum is formed? It is formed by the living organism, by the organism living in the sea. When these organisms died, their bodies settle at the bottom of the sea, and many layers of sand and clay deposited over them, and due to the absence of air, high pressure and high temperature, these dead organisms converted into the petroleum and natural gas. So you have to see here how petroleum and natural gas deposits. You know that oil is lighter than water and gas is lighter than oil and water. So oil is found above the water and gas is found above the oil. Okay, so this is the diagram of the deposition of the petroleum and natural gas. This is how the petroleum we are getting oil and gas, because oil is lighter than water and gas is lighter than oil and water. Okay. Now we have studied how petroleum is formed. Now we have to study actually what is petroleum. Petroleum is dark oily liquid and it has an unpleasant odor, smell. And petroleum is a mixture of various types of constituents like substances such as petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, etc. So just now I told you that petroleum is a mixture of many kinds of constituents like substances. So like which substances it is a mixture of, like petroleum gas, LPG. Okay, we can say the second is petrol, diesel, lubricating oil and paraffin wax. But if we want to get petrol and diesel, then how we will separate it out? So we are separating these all constituents of petroleum in a machinery. This is known as refinery. Okay, so the place where these all kinds of things are separating out, so these are known as refineries, and this process is known as refining. So the process of separating the various fractions and constituents of petroleum is known as petroleum refining, and it is carried out in a petroleum refinery. Okay, understood? Next is, these are the various constituents of petroleum and what are their uses. So the first we can see liquefied petroleum gas, LPG. We are using for home and industry, fuel for home and industry. Second constituent of petroleum is petrol. We are using it as a motor fuel and solvent for dry cleaning. Okay. Third is kerosene. Kerosene is also another constituent we are using as a fuel for stoves, lamps and for jet aircrafts. Fourth is diesel. We are using as a fuel for heavy motor vehicles, electric generators. Lubricating oil we are using as a lubrication. Paraffin wax we are using as an ointments for making candles and for making vaselines. And bitumen, it is also a petroleum product, constituents of petroleum, and we are using for making paints and road surfacing. So these seven, we can get the 7 constituents of the petroleum and their uses. Here are their uses. Okay. So see the next one. Another type of fossil fuel is natural gas. So the second, we have studied 2 type of fossil fuel. In previous video we have studied about the coal, and now here we have studied about the petroleum. So what we have studied? Petroleum, formation of petroleum and its various types of constituents. And what is petroleum refinery? This we have studied. Now here another third type of fossil fuel is natural gas. This is you know that how natural gas is formed, like petroleum. Petroleum and natural gas both are formed in by the organism living in the sea. When these organisms died and settle at the bottom of the sea, many layers of soil and clay deposited over them due to absence of air, high pressure and high temperature. These converted into the natural gas. So natural gas is also a very important fossil fuel. Why? Because it is easy to transport through the pipes. Okay. Natural gas is also used as a manufacturing of a number of chemicals and fertilizers. You know that from the natural gas we are obtaining another type of gas is hydrogen, and hydrogen we are using as a fertilizer. In India, natural gas has been found in where the natural gas is found in India? In Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and in the Krishna Godavari Delta. So you understood natural gas is very important because it is very easy to transport through the pipes, and it is also used for the manufacturing of the chemicals and the fertilizers. Okay, see, this we have studied about the natural gas, and you have also know about that natural gas. We can take the example of here CNG. CNG is compressed natural gas. Now here is the question, which is better, CNG or LPG? So we can say that CNG is better than LPG because LPG is liquefied petroleum gas, CNG is compressed natural gas. CNG is a very lighter gas and it is less polluting gas, and it is also known as a cleaner fuel. That's why CNG is better than LPG. And you know that at many places in India, like in Vadodara, Gujarat and some places in Delhi, there is a network or there is of pipelines of CNG. So these are connected at homes. So in homes, the people are also using CNG as a fuel. Okay, and CNG we are also using as to run the vehicles because it is less polluting, so we can decrease the pollution also. So we can say that CNG is the best natural gas as compared to the LPG. Okay, see the next one, the last topic is here, petroleum conservation. Petroleum conservation, you know that in India, the Petroleum Conservation Research Association, that is known as PCRA. P means petroleum, C means conservation, R means research, A means association. So PCRA advises people how to save petrol, diesel while driving. So their tips are, number first, you can save the petrol and diesel while driving. Number 1, drive at a constant and a moderate speed as far as possible. Number 2, switch off the engine at traffic lights or at a place where you have to wait. Number 3, ensure correct tire pressure. And number 4, ensure regular maintenance of the vehicle. You know that here we can study that these natural resources are limited in nature. And second thing, there are some adverse effect also. For example, we have studied fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, natural gas. We have studied these are the exhaustible natural resources. These are limited in nature. So number first, these are limited in nature. They took millions of years to form. Okay, so these are limited. Second thing, if we will not use them wisely, then we have to face the problem of air pollution. Okay, so this is the second thing. Third thing, same thing, if air pollution will increase, then the temperature of earth is also raised. When the temperature will rise, then we have to face the condition of the global warming. So these are the adverse effect also. So overall we can say that we have to use these natural resources as if we have means we wisely. We have to use them wisely. We can't use them carelessly. If we will use them carelessly, then we know that nothing is left for the future generation, and these are limited. And because of that, we have to face many adverse effects like global warming, like air pollution, and so many things. Okay, so that's why PCRA advise people that we have to follow these tips by which we can save petrol and diesel. Okay, so we have completed this chapter in 2 videos. So you have to see it properly, and please see the video and revise it. Okay, thank you.